Miss Transport 96 here. Within the video, I'm going to be talking about a newly shown figure from Sideshow Collectibles. This time it is from their Star Wars series, for LOM. So yeah. For LOM is a character that I do like. I'm a big fan of the bounty hunters from the Empire Strikes Back. I always have been. I collected toys for them in many different scales, and I will be posting, if I haven't already posted, just a video of my Empire Strikes Back bounty hunter collection, as well as talking about the future figures to go with that collection. But this is separate. I am just talking about the for LOM that was shown for Sideshow Collectibles. And yeah, so very excited about this. They showed this like back during Christmas, I believe, during the like 12 days of Sideshow or whatnot. It was one of the preview figures that they showed, just, you know, quick glimpse of. Now, of course, the official images have come out, and he has gone on pre-order, so we do know his price, availability, and expected release. So this is quite special because it's quite different from most things that go on pre-order. Usually, with this figure, the pictures came out for it and the price came out for it yesterday. You know, I was able to take a look at it, looked great and everything like that. But then when this went on pre-order, I found some new stuff out about it, which is really neat. First of all, I've never seen this before, and I've been collecting Hot Toys and Sideshow for quite a while, but I've never seen this. The day one pre-order, it is on a limited time offer of free shipping. I've never seen an item on pre-order with free shipping, let alone the first day it went on pre-order. It is set up for free US shipping, which is extremely surprising. I don't quite know why they're doing this. My only guess as to why they're doing this is either they're specifically concerned that the for LOM character won't sell, or they're just not selling very well with their product. I think that Sideshow Collectibles has really pushed their price point as far as they can go and further, in my opinion. I think that they are overcharging for their figures, and I'm saying that not as like, oh, these 6-scale figures are so expensive, everybody's overcharging. I'm saying that as comparatively to like Hot Toys, Sideshow is overpricing their figures. Hot Toys in a lot of cases are pricing their toys better, and their quality is much better than Sideshow. So I do believe that Sideshow has really pushed their luck and is starting to regret that now, because this limited time offer, I believe, most likely is because of this. I believe that their figures are probably not as selling as well as they used to, and therefore they're trying to do some things to promote their sales of their new figures. So that's my guess, but it is quite neat and special and definitely unique to the fact that we do have free US shipping for a day one pre-order. So very interesting. I've never seen that before. I definitely wanted to address that. And before I start talking about the actual figure, I'm just going through all the kind of unique things about this guy, or about his pre-order at least. But it is a Sideshow exclusive, and not because it comes with an exclusive item, but just because it is a limited edition, which is quite neat and quite interesting. I'm sure that Sideshow has done this before. I can't remember of an exact example where this was the case. Sorry about that, my camera ran out of battery, but like I was saying, it is quite unique that it is a limited edition when it's just kind of like a regular figure. But it's very cool when they do tell you how much the edition run is. It's 2,000, which is a fair amount. I wasn't sure how limited 2,000 really was. I took a look at just some other Sideshow like statues that they have out to see how much 2,000 really was. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad. I saw about 1,500 to about 4,000 was the run of their limited editions. So I wasn't quite sure. You know, it is on the lower end of that. However, this is a figure; it's not a statue, so that may change things too. So I'm not quite sure how limited 2,000 really is. They don't say how many figures they make of their other figures, so I can't like compare it to like Darth Maul or something. I went to check and they didn't say how many Darth Mauls they're making or anything like that, so I really can't compare it to anything that's very similar. However, 2,000 does seem to be somewhat limited, but I doubt it's very limited. I think that that's probably just another kind of ploy to get you to try to purchase this. I think that they are worried that this one won't sell, so they are trying to do everything that they can to make this more attractive to collectors. Free shipping right off the gate and limited edition. You know, you slap limited edition on anything, and us collectors, even if we don't admit it, we'll definitely get excited about it and at least very curious. So I do believe that that'll probably push some people that are on the fence about this guy into purchasing him, just because he does say limited edition. Alright, let's talk about the actual figure here. I've blabbered enough about his pre-order specifics. But 4-LOM is looking quite nice. He does reuse a lot of parts from C-3PO, it looks like. Obviously, he's a protocol droid kind of gone rogue. He kind of like reprogrammed himself, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why he is, you know, basically he looks exactly like C-3PO with a different chest and a different head and, you know, different color, obviously. But he looks pretty cool. Figure itself, I don't think is going to be super exciting. Obviously, C-3PO doesn't have a greatest range of motion, and this guy won't have the best range of motion either. He'll have just, you know, very standard, even the joints in places that he does have, they won't be very extreme. I think you'll have a nice ball jointed head. You can really do anything with that. I think it's going to be hard to get this guy to hold his gun with 2 hands, but you'll be able to do it. And you'll also, of course, be able to do his signature look, basically the only way that we saw him in the actual movie, where he's just standing there, holding his gun from the top and, you know, letting it rest on the ground, which is what he's doing here. So you can obviously have him in the signature 4-LOM pose, basically. But as you can see, the detail looks quite nice. It looks like a very dark copper, where like the seams are kind of rusted. That's the type of impression I get. Possibly those kind of like lines are meant to be painted like that, but to me it looks like it's just kind of like rust that's happened over the years, and it's not intentional like orange colors or anything like that. But who knows? I'm not quite sure. But he does look really nice. The red kind of like stain on his suit, that is accurate to the movie. It does seem to be quite bright though, like it really draws my attention in, so I'm hoping that that is accurate, and, you know, it shouldn't be dark or anything like that, because it is quite noticeable. The head sculpt looks really nice. I love the green for the eyes, the way that it fades out to the back, and the front of it is more of a bright green. It almost kind of gives you the look of like kind of pupils being the lighter green, and the back of the eye that's like a dark green being just the white of the eye. At least that's the impression I get. It looks cool. For a second, you know, I almost thought that possibly there was a light up feature that kind of gave it that look to it. However, I do believe that it is just paint. It doesn't mention anything about lights, so it won't light up. But the head sculpt in general is very nice. It is kind of bug-like, kind of like a fly almost. You know, I've heard people say that Zuckuss and 4-LOM have bug-like heads. I've never really seen it. I mean, I can kind of see it here, but it doesn't. It's not noticeable, in my opinion, just for some reason. I'm not quite sure about these wires, if they're like sculpted there or if they are like free wires that are hanging there. I'm not quite sure. So I don't know if they're attached to the body or not. You know, if anybody has C-3PO, they might know, but I personally don't have that figure. There's a close-up of the gun. And then they did say that they re-sculpted the torso and the lower torso of this figure from C-3PO, so it has a brand new torso, which is quite nice. Obviously, the top section, at least, is for 4-LOM is completely different from C-3PO. The bottom section, I think, is the same, but it might be actually different in the movie, but that's obviously why they resculpted that. And he clearly has a new head, and he does have new hands, actually. C-3PO did have articulated fingers. This figure, though, has no articulation for the fingers. He comes with a set of relax bombs, and he comes with a set for holding the weapon. And as you can see here, he does hold the weapon with 2 hands. You can get him to do it. He doesn't look supernatural or anything, but he does look quite nice. And it is something that I was really hoping that you'd be able to do, so I am glad that the figure has the capability to do so, and it does look pretty decent. I was originally disappointed that the fingers were not articulated. However, I did hear that you know, because the fingers are articulated, they're actually kind of loose, which would make it very hard for him to hold anything. So this is actually better than having articulated fingers for a figure that comes with a gun. So I am happy to hear that. Here's his very limited amount of accessories. He comes with a standard hexagon style base with his gun and an extra set of hands for holding the gun. So articulation-wise, he comes with basically nothing. He love these pictures where they show you him with the other bounty hunters that they've done so far. Boba Fett, IG-88, and Bosk. I'll talk more about this in that video where I discuss my bounty hunter collection, but I don't have IG-88, and at the moment I don't have a Boba Fett. I do have Bosk, however, so the 4-LOM is going to look great with Bosk, and possibly by the time I get 4-LOM, I'll have a Boba Fett as well. And then here's one last image of them all together. They haven't made Zuckuss or Dengar yet. Hopefully they will do so. Them making this guy isn't like a guarantee that they're going to start doing bounty hunters again. I think that they made this guy mainly because he's easy. You know, he reuses a lot of the same parts from C-3PO, so they really just need to sculpt a new torso, a head, and an accessory, his gun, and everything else can be reused and obviously just repainted. So I believe that that's why they did him, just because it's a pretty simple one for them to do, and they're really slow on Star Wars figures. They've like grinded to a halt, basically only doing like repaints of astromechs and really issuing Boba Fett and things like that. So you know, I wouldn't hold my breath for the other two quite so soon. I would imagine that eventually we'll get them, but it will be in quite some time, and possibly even Hot Toys will be the one to complete the team. We'll have to see. But overall, I am excited for this 4-LOM figure. I do think that there's a 90% chance that I'm going to get it. I have pre-ordered him at the moment, but there's no refundable deposit for him, so I can cancel it at any time. I'll probably wait and hopefully get a $20 off coupon to be able to reorder him with that to bring the price down even more. But he's looking great. I'm excited to get him in my Bounty Hunter collection, and he is $210, which is still overpriced for Sideshow, but it's much better than what they have been pricing. Darth Maul came with about the same amount of stuff that this guy comes with, and he was $240. Way overpriced, extremely overpriced, considering he was so lacking on accessories. So I do think that this one is more reasonably priced. I believe that this 4-LOM is Sideshow's worry about their products, or their 6-scale product selling, as well as their worry about 4-LOM as a character selling, which is why they have a reasonable price, free shipping, and made it a limited edition. All to ensure that this one will do well, and that their 6-scale figures will do well in general. But there you go, that's my thoughts and opinions and information on the Sideshow Collectibles Star Wars 4-LOM figure. Thanks so much for watching.